New crew, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making pickles. We're actually almost done. Last batch is in here, but look what we're gonna do together today. Got lots of pickles, spears and slices going on behind me, plus I share with you guys a ton of other projects that I'm hoping to get done over the next couple of days, so definitely be on the lookout for those videos. I'm gonna try to film those, but let's go ahead and hop in and you guys can spend the afternoon in my kitchen making pickles with me. This is just what I have in the sink, but these are pickles and green bell peppers. I use bell peppers in my pickle recipe. I will type down below the pickle recipe that I follow, and it calls for bell peppers, and it helps so much just add flavor. And the pickled bell peppers are really good too. Just put a couple slices in each jar. It's awesome, and in my experience it also helps suck up some of the extra salt that might happen if you get a little bit too much salt with your pickles. So I love doing that. It adds just an extra little zip to it. It's really, really nice. But I've got this little bit here, but where the real cucumbers are, let me show you. I have this grocery bag full of pickles, or cucumbers of all different shapes and sizes. Plus, I have this second bag of cucumbers of all different shapes and sizes. So we're gonna try to get through these today. And if everything goes well, I might hit my canning goal for my pickles today, which is really exciting. Plus, I stopped at a farmer's market. I bought 2 dozen corn. We ate a couple for lunch just now, but my plan with these is actually to blanch these, cut these in half, and get halved corns of cob in my freezer for the winter, because right now the corn is so good. So I want to preserve it while it's at its peak, while it tastes the best, while it has the best flavor. Get it in the freezer, and that way all winter long we have some really great corn on the cob. So I got 2 dozen. I've never done this before, so I wanted to start with that, see how that goes, but this is a project for another day. The corn will hold, plus 14 zucchinis here. These are massive zucchini. My zucchini has done really well this year, plus my mother-in-law has given me a couple because her zucchini has done really well, and she is just a family of 3. She does not need the same one as I do, soon to be a family of 6. So she's been handing them to me. I want to get these shredded, get these in the freezer as well. But like I said, this and the corn is going to be a project for another day. But those are coming. Stopped at the farmer's stand, got 2 more sprigs of dill for today. Plus, these are some pickles that I did a couple days ago. I've got slices and spears here, which is awesome. I've got a couple batches of dilly beans here, which is awesome. So after this, I should be done pickling. That is more like it. So I'm going to get these pickles washed off. I'm going to start slicing and making spears, get my cucumbers in a bowl, get all of my bell peppers in a bowl, and I have some leftover brine that I'm just gonna heat up, and I'm hoping to get 1 batch in and out of the canner before Colt goes down for his nap at 2. It's quarter to noon now, so we'll see what happens, but I would like to be able to get that all done. So I'm gonna get these soaking while I kind of set up my cutting station and pull out my bowls and stuff and figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this, and then I will come and scrub them and make sure that they're clean. My mother-in-law did say that she sprayed some of these cucumbers off with the hose because she gave me some of her extra, because like I said, she had a lot of overflow this year, which is awesome. She's always willing to give me what she's not going to use, as long as I promise that I'm actually going to do something with it. So I always send her a picture after of like all the canning that I was able to get done, and she's just happy that it's going up on the shelf and it's being used. So she's just way more experienced than me. She can have half the plants and get twice the bounty, but I guess that's what experience and time will give you, right? So just started prepping. I have all of my bell peppers cut up in a bowl set aside. I'm gonna work on sliced pickles first. My husband, I made 4 quarts and I thought that'd be enough for a year. He wants me to make a couple more, so I'm gonna do another batch of sliced pickles. So I'm gonna fill this up, and whatever I get off of that is gonna be our sliced pickles. But I forgot that I wanted to get something in the crock pot, because I know by the end of this I'm not gonna wanna cook, and I would rather just have 1 pot to clean up after dinner. So I am going to do a crock pot chicken Alfredo. I have shared this before, but it's been a long time since I started making like my own real Alfredo sauce. But this is how I started making Alfredo. So I'm just gonna put in, I have chicken thighs, but you can use chicken breasts, chicken tenders, literally whatever you have, it's totally fine. This is just what I have up here. So I'm gonna put in my chicken thighs. You need a stick of butter, a cup of cream cheese, which is just a block of cream cheese, and a cup of sour cream. You're gonna let that go in the crock pot. You can do it high for 4 hours, you can do it low for 6 hours, kind of whenever you remember to put it in. I personally like to go light on the cream cheese. I think it can get a little rich. And then once this has about 30 minutes before I'm gonna serve it, so about when I'm getting ready to make pasta, I'm just gonna throw in a couple cups of frozen broccoli. I'll have some broccoli chicken Alfredo for dinner tonight, so then all I have to do is boil noodles and kind of, you know, serve the sauce over top, and it'll be good to go for tonight. So I'm gonna finish adding in a little bit of cream cheese, a cup of sour cream, and then I like to add in seasoned salt and a lot of pepper. A lot of pepper, that's what makes it good. So what I put in my jars is just a 1/4 tablespoon of alum, it keeps the pickles crisp, a 1/2 tablespoon of garlic, and then of course dill. Packed those, well, I got those set in my jars. Now I'm gonna pack them full of cucumbers, about as tight as I can. And then I'm going to heat up my leftover brine. Canner warming up, and then I'll have a couple, well, at least a couple here, and then my canner can fit 8 quarts. So I'm gonna fill up another 2 quarts of slices. That way I can do a full load at a time. And then I usually will top it with maybe another little sprig of dill. But we're just gonna get these packed in a little bit at a time. So I wanted to show you guys my little setup here. I've got my pickle cutting station here. I've got my bowl here with pickles, and then I have my washed cucumbers behind me here. So all I have to do is reach back and grab a cucumber. I don't even have to stand up. And this is definitely how I wish I would have made pickles every single year of my life, because this is so much easier than what I've been doing previously. So my first batch of pickles actually in the canner, which is awesome. So all those slices are in. I have 6 quarts and 2 pints of those, which is great because I think I'll save the 2 pints and hand those out at Christmas time as gifts. I am breaking out the next box of canning jars. I got another thing of pickles here. So the next round are going to be slices. I've got my peppers here. I put peppers in with just my spears, not my slices. So I'm going to start packing jars with the alum, what is that? Come on, garlic. Sorry, the baby brain is beyond, and the dill. Start packing these jars, getting those ready. I have a tiny bit of brine left over. I am gonna have to make another batch of brine, but my pot could only hold so much at a time. I need to get another like really big pot for holding brines and things, because that's the biggest one I have, and we have outgrown it as a family. So we're gonna do these, plus over here, these are the cucumbers I have left. So I probably have, I don't even know how many jars this is gonna be, but we're gonna figure it out. I think I'm just gonna finish off with what's up here, because I only have 12 quarts and 12 pint jars left. I have to sterilize my jars, and I just don't have time to like get them sterilized and canned today. I mean, technically I could do it if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to. So I'm just going to get done with whatever I can fit in these 12 quart jars and then be done. And another project that I want to do is I have a ton of apples in the fridge. They're pretty tasteless. They're very watery. They were a decent price. They were pretty cheap when I went grocery shopping at Aldi, if you saw my Aldi haul, but they're just really watery. They don't have a lot of taste, and nobody wants to eat them because they don't taste that great. So I think what I'm going to do is make applesauce with them in my crock pot. So I also want to get that going at some point. So that's another project that's going to be coming up, is hopefully doing some applesauce, but we will see. I am on my last batch of pickles for the day. I only prepped 4 jars because I don't know exactly how many pickles I have left. While I still have a whole grocery bag, I could just go get more and be able to do a full batch if I needed to. I want to hang out with my kids at least for a little bit today, so I'm just going to finish shoving these jars, but I figured I would just chat with you guys for a minute. I'm really happy that I pulled out a stool because my back is really starting to hurt. I had a little helper up here, with me for a while and they stole my chair, which is totally fine. So I was standing for a while, but it is 2:30. I just laid Colt down and I got 2 batches out of the canner, and I'm working on batch number 3, all as I was getting him down. So that makes me really happy. I'm like 1 batch ahead of what I thought I was gonna be, which is cool. But now I'm just finishing off the last bit of cucumbers for the day. And then what I really have to make sure that I do tonight is run a dishwasher full of mason jars, and I can get those sterilized because I really need to do that. I just went and bought more mason jars like the other day, just in case. And I'm happy that I did, because so far all of my green beans and pickles are taking up like everything I had bought in for this year. So I need to stop being lazy and just run my dishwasher with some jars through it. So when I have them sticking up over the lid like this, I'll just take a little knife and stick it in there and cut the parts off that are obviously going to be over my headspace, and then I'll just shove them back down into these little holes, or I'll just shove them in the bottom of my next jar. It just kind of depends, but usually we can get them in there really nice like. So I have my last round of pickles in my canner right now, but I have a little bit of brine left, so I'm gonna let it cool. And once it's completely cooled, I'm actually gonna dump it back in my vinegar container here. I've labeled it pickle brine. And then that way, next time I go to make pickles, I'll have a little bit of leftover brine. That way I'm not wasting it. It's totally fine to sit. My father-in-law does it too. He lets his sit for a week, but no longer. I've never let mine sit more than a week. I've never had an issue. It's perfectly fine. So really, it's only gonna be sitting for a day or 2, because I think tomorrow I'm gonna focus on the zucchini and the corn, getting those taken care of. But I am gonna save this pickle brine. It is not gonna go to waste, so I'm definitely not gonna dump it down the drain. It's going to be good to go. But this is what we were able to do today. We got, I don't even know how many, 1, 2. We have 5 quarts of slices, 2 pints of slices. These little pints I'm gonna give away as Christmas gifts. I have 2 people that I know I want to give them to, so that's why I made them in those. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 quarts of spears, which is awesome. I still have another grocery bag, and assuming I get the same amount out of the next grocery bag, and I get another 16 quarts out of those, I will definitely hit my limit for the year. Right now, with these plus what's in the canner, I have 29 quarts. So I'm thinking 29 quarts should be enough for my family for the year, but like honestly, we'll see what happens. And then the next project we really got to do is taking care of all these eggs. These are all full of eggs. And then look, I had a chicken lay me my first like blue-green egg, which is really exciting. So that's pretty cool. I was excited about that. It just looks so pretty sitting in with all of my brown eggs. But yeah, I definitely want to make noodles with that. That's coming up. Just a lot of things happening. I really want to get done. I want to get a lot up on the shelf and stuff, but really we'll see what happens. So now it's just starting cleanup. So I'm going to load in these dishes, take care of this stuff. Really, it's not that bad. So we're gonna go ahead and do all these, give the floor a quick sweep, and we should be done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, taking a little bit of time out of your day to watch my videos. I think that's so cool. Let me know down below if you're doing any canning or if you're doing any gardening this year, what you were able to pull out. I always love to hear from other people what you guys were able to do. But I'm gonna go. I have to pull these out of my water bath canner, and I will see you guys in another video.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.